What up YouTube, Doomnyc here with my favorite time of the year. It's Banlist prediction time. Okay, so we're at the end of January and the March Banlist is coming for 2011. So yeah, these are just my predictions, what I think is going to happen. So yeah, first I'm going to start off with the cards I think are going to 2. And we're going to start off with Charge of the Light Brigade. Lights One has pretty much, they're doing okay now, but they've pretty much been held back. And from my knowledge, I don't think Lights One's ever won any major tournaments. So yeah, I think it's time to give them a little boost. So I think Charge is going to go to 2. Same thing with this card, Necro Gardener. I don't think a lot of decks are even using this anymore, so I don't really see a reason to keep this at 1. So again, this would be a big boost to dark decks and to Lights One. So yeah, Necro Gardener to 2. Then we got E-Teleport. I haven't seen a Teledad deck in quite some time, and other than that, there isn't any other deck I can think of that uses this card, so I don't see any reason to keep this card at 1. So putting this to 2, we might definitely see some variety in the meta, which is what we really need. So E-Teleport to 2. D-Draw. Other than Absolute Zero, there really isn't many decks running D-Heroes right now, so putting D-Draw back to 2 would definitely help, bring a lot more decks out. So I think this would be good. If it makes Absolute Zero broken, then I say, bring it back down to 1. But for now, that looks like, it could be. Mizuki, zombie decks, they have a glimmer of shine every now and then, but really, they're still really bad. The only thing that's going to make them playable again is if this card goes back to 2. I'm not saying bring Burial back to 2 or 3. Leave that at 1, because we don't want them to be broken. But Mizuki at 2, I think, is fitting to bring them back in the meta. This card, Royal Oppression. A lot of people said this card should have never went to 1. I think at 1, it makes it really unplayable because you never draw it. So, and you're not going to play Gold Sark just to get Royal Oppression. So, my opinion, I think this card should be back to 2. Yeah, that's basically it. Royal Oppression needs to be at 2. Alright, now these cards are actually, I think, getting downgraded to 2. Solemn Warning. Everybody was okay with playing this at 2 at first, but now everybody wants to play 3 of these because of 6 Sams, and I don't think Konami's going to like that. So, I'm pretty sure this is going to get semi to 2. More than likely. Alright, and of course, Blackwings are still winning in Japan unbelievably, so they have to get hit again. So I think the next cards to get hit is going to be Kalut. I think Kalut's going to go to 2. There's just no way around it. Kalut's got to go to 2. And Icarus Attack is also going to get bodied, going to go to 2. I think by putting these 2 cards to 2, I think it's going to get the Japanese players to play, and also the TCG players to play a lot more decks instead of just Blackwing. So yeah. Now we're going to go to the cards that I think are going to go to 1. Alright guys, don't kill me for this one, but I think Rescue Cat's going to come back. If it doesn't come back this ban list, for sure it's going to come back in the next ban list in September. Only because with Rescue Cat playing, granted it makes certain decks really broken, but we can do things to fix that problem. But as far as just Synchro Cat decks and Cat variants, not to mention Konami's not stupid. They want to make money. And with all the new Fabled Beast archetype coming out, like there's a lot of beast spells and a lot of beast cards that came on Duelist Revolution. It would only make sense if they want to make money to bring this guy back to 1. So I think Cat's coming back to 1. Let's see. Okay, and everything else is pretty much downgrading. Okay. Now these 2 cards, Fishborg and Swap Frog. I'm not saying they're both gonna go to 1. I think one or the other. I think because with that Fish OTK deck, you need both of these guys, and they're both equally important. I think this to get the Treeborn in the grave, and Fishborg to just start the synchroing. So not both of them, but either one of them is probably gonna go to 1, because that deck's pretty broken. X-Saber's gotta take a hit, even though it's not a big hit, it's a small hit. But Dark Soul finally is gonna have to get hit. I don't want to hear about the OCG doesn't have it or whatever. Yeah, it's X-Saber still play really well in the TCG, and if you put this to 1, then bringing back Cat won't be that bad, because they'll still be stuck playing 3 Airbellum and 1, Dark Soul, and pretty much if they have Dark Soul in their hand when they get Cat, then they're pretty much screwed. So there's other combos they can do, but the Dark Soul Airbellum play was the big one. Putting this to 1 solves that problem. So yeah, let's see. Okay, this is a good one. Effect Veiler. I definitely see this going to 1. I think people are just main decking this too much now, and if they don't main deck it, they side deck it, and they side deck at least 2. So everybody's saying that you have to. You don't have to, but because you feel that you have to, now this card's going to get limited. So I really think this card's going to get hit by the ban list, putting it to 1, because the effect to negate stuff is just broken. From the hand, that's just broken. Okay. Debris Dragon. Plants, plants had to get hit. I don't think Dandelion's going to get touched. I think Dandelion at 2 is not that bad, because you can use it in a lot of different decks. I think Debris Dragon is the main problem with Plant Synchro, and I think if you bring Debris Dragon down to 1, I think it slows that deck down a lot. So by putting this down to 1 and also putting this back to 1, Black Rose Dragon, because Plant Synchro just spams Black Rose all day, and I think that some people say Black Rose isn't that broken, or you can negate it with Solemn Warning and negate it with, Effect Veiler. Nah, forget all that. Let's just slow Plant Synchro down, because they're too big in the meta right now. So Debris at 1, Black Rose at 1. That sounds good to me. All right, Pot of Duality. This card at 3, I think, is broken. I think if you put it at 1, it'll bring the price of it down, because spending more than $100 on a card is like really crazy, and also running it at 1, everybody will be able to play it, and it won't be that big of a need to have in the deck. So it won't give the players who can afford it that much of an edge over everybody else. I think Pot of Duality should go to 1. Alright, 6 Samurais, they're just coming out, so obviously Konami isn't going to ban any of the new stuff or limit or whatever, but this card for sure is probably going to get hit, especially after Austin, because 6 Sam's probably going to win that YCS, and with Gateway at 3, they're going to see that it's pretty broken, so the Gateway's going to go to 1, but everything else will still be playable, so we'll see how it goes from there. Royal Tribute. This card has to go to 1. This card's worse than Crush card, because at least Crush card only destroyed monsters with 1500 or more attack. So if you had small monsters like Sangin and stuff, you'd still keep those, but nah. Royal Tribute, it just dumps all monsters. So this card's really broken, and because of Gravekeepers making their big push right now, this card needs to go to 1. So, and the last card going to 1, Heavy Storm. I think this card's coming back. I think they realized that they made an error in banning this card. So I think that this card's going to come back to 1. And now we're going to go to the cards that I think are going to be banned. Only 2 cards so far that I think first off, Dark Hole. This card's broken. This card's really good. What can I say? It destroys all monsters in the field. So especially if you draw this first turn and your opponent, plays swarms the field or whatever, you can just play this. It's essentially like Raigeki, because you don't have no monsters on the field. So, Dark Hole, it was fun while it lasted, but I think this card is too good. This card needs to be banned. And last, Cold Wave. Cold Wave, for sure needs to be banned. This card's too good, especially if you're gonna bring back Cat. Then you need to ban Cold Wave. See, the reason why Cat was so broken was because of Cold Wave. Because you could sink for Hunley and destroy the back rows. Well, without Cold Wave now, if you have Heavy Storm, it's a little different because people aren't going to set as many back rows and stuff like that, so they don't have to worry about, the big Cold Wave play. So I think Heavy Storm comes back, Cold Wave gets banned, end of story. And yeah, that's about it. So those are my ban list predictions for the March 2011 ban list. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I left anything out, if you disagree with anything, just leave comments down there. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. And yeah, until next time, YouTube. Peace.